Welcome back. I'm joined by Championship correspondent Pascal Lemire to review the Boxing Day match between Bournemouth and Fulham. Pascal, starting with the home side, consolidated top spot with a thumping win over Blackpool last time out.
I think pretty much everyone would have picked them to win that game. Obviously, it was top versus bottom, but 6-1 was so impressive. And Eddie Howe said afterwards it's probably our best performance of the season. And they probably didn't need their best to beat Blackpool, but 6-1 is just so convincing. Some of the goals, you look at the Blackpool defending, it was bad. The penalty was a soft decision. The first goal, especially, that was the one that sort of killed Bournemouth. Really, the first goal, Joe Lewis, he should have saved it, but maybe the pitch played a part. The pitch at Bloomfield Road is just awful. It's atrocious. Obviously at this time of year, a lot of pitches do start to cut up a little bit, but it was terrible. Eddie Howe said afterwards that Bournemouth, they played so well considering the conditions. They could have easily just gone there and tried to dig out, a 1 or 2-0 win, but obviously 6-1. And the players, they just can keep impressing. Matt Ritchie again, his 2 goals were very good. Harry Arter on the score sheet again. Callum Wilson with a goal, Brett Pittman. They're just so many key players there, and obviously it was very impressive to go and win like that, especially after the way they lost to Liverpool in the Capital One Cup. Because I think a lot of people would have maybe picked them to surprise Liverpool and maybe shock Liverpool there, but they weren't able to do so. And to come here, obviously 3 league wins in a row now, and they needed to do that as well because the other teams below them, you look at Ipswich, Brentford, Middlesbrough, they're still going really well. So Bournemouth, they need to keep winning because otherwise, they'll fall out of the top spot. Yeah.
Moving on to Fulham, put together a nice little back-to-back wins now.
They have, yeah. And before that back-to-back wins, it was a 5-0 defeat at home to Fulham, and they were back at Craven Cottage this weekend against Sheffield Wednesday and won 4-0. So that was a great way to sort of get the fans back on side because the previous display at Craven Cottage was really disappointing. But against Sheffield Wednesday, they didn't play to their best, I don't think. But they were very clinical in that game. Obviously, the first goal from Ross McCormack was a fabulous free kick, and they just took their chances after that. The Christensen goal was my goal of the weekend. It was absolutely brilliant the way he travelled from the edge of his own box all the way forward. Exchanged pass with Roddy Jaeger and then tucked it home. He's been absolutely brilliant recently. You look at him, Roddy Jaeger, McCormack, they've been excellent of late. And Fulham, I think that's 4 wins in their last 6 games. They're still 13th in the table because obviously they didn't start the season. They were just terrible at the start of the season. They were down at the bottom under Felix Magath. So Kit Simons is doing really well, but up to 13th in the table. But they need to do a lot more if they're going to have chances of getting into the playoffs because the top 6 all look really good at the moment, and Fulham are still 10 points off the playoffs.
It's got makings of a good game. What's your score prediction for this one?
I think it should be a really good game. Yeah, I'm expecting goals. The last few home games at Bournemouth has seen loads of goals. Obviously, the one last weekend in the league was 5-3 against Cardiff. So I'm going to back goals again, but I think Bournemouth, they're just absolutely flying. So I'm going to go for a 3-2 Bournemouth win.
So also going for a 3-2 win to Bournemouth.